This is a Hot Pie Original.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the DNP-CD Sports Podcast, brought to you by OddsShark. I am Chad Fisher, alongside my co-host, Tony Farmer. Tony, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing awesome today, man.
That's great to hear, man.
Chad, I got a question for you.
What's up, man?
If you're about to place a sports wager, do you just go to any random website and just place that wager down without looking at other stuff?
No, absolutely not. That would be dumb.
Yeah. It's important to shop around for the best number.
And that's why OddsShark is your source for the latest odds from leading authorities, expert editorial content, the hottest sports news, and detailed matchup picks. Looking for statistics and trends for an upcoming game? OddsShark has that too, and it's absolutely free. They have in-depth and expert analysis, odds, and trends to help you make the sharp game day picks. They've got decades of stats in their databases, and their insiders give you takes so hot they sizzle. That is hot. They're your one-stop shop for all your odds info on sports and pop culture events.
Yeah, so whether you're a seasoned bettor and you've been doing this a long time or you're just starting, you want to get a better understanding of the odds and the math behind the numbers, how the lines are set, why do the lines move during the week in the NFL, for instance. OddsShark will give you all the tools that you need. They're a proven industry powerhouse, and OddsShark has info from around the globe giving you the chance to access the best sports odds on the planet. So whether you want to check out tonight's odds or this weekend's games or anything in between, head on over to OddsShark and start thinking like a shark today.
One of the reasons why we love OddsShark so much is because they've got all that information right in front of you. You can access information from all these different sites. You can find out who's going to give you the best line. This has a potential to make you hundreds, if not thousands of more dollars if you're shopping around, looking at OddsShark, seeing where you can get the best deal.
Yeah, you always want to get the best number. And the cool thing is this is a free resource, so you're not paying anything extra for it. There are websites out there that charge you. This is free. And if you're making any big decision in your life, a purchase or anything like that, you're going to shop around.
Absolutely.
So it only makes sense to do that with your wagers as well.
A lot of times we've talked about this. A lot of times when you're getting ready to place a bet, you got like 12 or 15 tabs open on your computer. You're like, I can't remember where I saw that line. I swear I saw, this line so-and-so. You can't find it. Before you know it, you get confused. You're placing $1,200 on the Orioles to win the World Series, and I can tell you, I'm not an expert like OddsSharks, but I can tell you right now, that is not going to happen.
No, I agree, man. And speaking of those experts, they also write these articles. So if you're planning on making a bet, you can read what a bet analyst has said about that game, and it might make you reinforce your decision. You feel a little more confident going into that game. Maybe you put a little more money on it, or it might give you something to think about, and you might want to hedge or do something a little differently. Yeah,
exactly. That's why we love OddsShark. We're going to introduce ourselves a little bit later, let you get to know us a little bit more. But first, we got a big-time guest that we just want to go right ahead and bring in. Our guest today is one of the best dual-threat running backs in the NFL, and he's also Western Colorado University's all-time leading rusher. He's now entering his 5th NFL season. In the NFL, he's amassed over 2,000 yards receiving in his career and nearly 2,000 yards rushing. Also, his foundation just announced its first major project, the donation of a state-of-the-art gymnasium to Santa Barbara High School. Please welcome to the DNP-CD Sports Podcast, LA Chargers running back, Mr. Austin Ekeler. How you doing, brother? Thanks for coming on the show.
Hey, coming in hot with the intro. I like that.
Yeah, man. I did some research, brother, so I got everything down. I probably know some shit about your career you don't know, you know what I'm saying? So. Hey, man, I wanted to ask you, so prepare for this interview, I did some research on you and stuff, and I saw that you took your first career handoff for 35 yards in week 4, the 2017 season against the Eagles. I want to ask you, man, after that, were you like, dog, this is easy as hell. I'm about to be the best running back ever, man.
Like, this is all you got to do?
You're like, watch out, Barry Sanders. I'm coming for you, buddy.
Yeah, pretty incredible, huh? My first ever regular season handoff, 34-yard touchdown. Moment I'll never forget in my life. I didn't even have a celebration then. I was just flexing and screaming as hard as I could.
Just like, yes, super.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man. That'd feel great, man. Tony, go ahead.
Yeah, man. I was wondering. I saw you on the Pat McAfee show, and you referred to yourself as pound for pound the strongest man in the NFL. I believe it after seeing you squat 405 pounds. And dude, he was squatting like you and I would pick up a slice of pizza.
Yeah,
you didn't see that video. He made it look easy. That. So you've got my vote, Austin. But what I want to know is, since you've been on that show, that's a big show. Has anybody reached out to you, come out of the woodwork, and been like, what about me?
No. See, you said I squatted 405 pounds. That's impressive. I did it 13 times.
Oh, damn.
Woo.
Yeah, he's like, don't leave that part out.
They were effortless. They were effortless squats too.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I put a challenge out there. I was like, let's go. It's the 405 challenge. We're in California, got the highway, all that. Like, try to get some promotion on it. Nothing. no one's came back and been like, hey, I got this. So, hey, if anyone's a little,
I think they saw the videos. They was like, we ain't messing with this dude.
Anybody out there, honestly, let's go. I just want to see something at this point.
For sure. So with that, what's your off season been like, brother? Are you incorporating any new training methods or anything like that into it? I know it's a little bit different with COVID and everything.
Right. No, so my gym that I go to has an outside area, so it's been open, thankfully. So I've been continuing to do my own stuff. That's kind of how I roll. I kind of have I get away from the groups because I feel like when I get in like a group, I love the atmosphere. I love the competitiveness. I love the social aspect. But when I'm in a group, I feel like the people that are running the group are really trying to like focus on like not getting you hurt. Yeah. Like there's that little restriction. I'm like, I got to let loose, man. I got to move some weight. Push my body. And so, I don't know, I go back and forth with strength and conditioning people, but I always in the end come back to what has worked for me. That's what you should always do, in my opinion. Yep. But no, it's been great, man. I've been grinding away, getting into socials, Twitch, foundation, working out, just building everything, all my passions.
That's awesome, man. I saw you was reading a book and doing some pull-ups, man. Were you reading Chicken Soup for the Teenage Souls? Is that what that was?
That's a video from a while ago. Yeah, not just any pull-up. It was a one-arm pull-up, right?
Yeah.
So I think I busted out like 4 one-arm pull-ups. So
I can do some one-arm.
That's the next challenge.
I can do some one-arm Cheeto pull-ups. That's about it, man.
Austin, you mentioned your strength and conditioning. We've referred to your athleticism a couple times. There's a guy out in Tampa Bay you might have heard of, Tom Brady. He's got this whole TB12 method. So I'm wondering, when you see athletes like him do these unconventional things, whether it's the diet or the resistance bands instead of the weights, on a scale of 1 to 10, man, 1 being like, nah, that's not really my thing. I don't buy into it. That's quackery. To 10 being like, yeah, that's pretty intriguing. Kind of where do you fall on being intrigued by that little bit different of an approach?
Hey, if kind of just what I talked about, like if it works for you, do it. Like don't let everyone come and tell you all the science, the numbers, all this, that. To me, that's BS. That's great. If I'm a robot and I need to do stuff off of numbers, that's great. But guess what? I'm my own human being. I know what I like to do. Like I have my own preferences. So I'm 10 as far as intrigued on what you guys are trying to do. I might not like it, but if it works for you, you like it. Let's go.
Go for it.
That's cool, man.
Hey, so the name of the show is DNP-CD, which is a box score reference for, did not play coach's decision. So it's because me and Tony we're like box score freaks, man. We love stats and everything like that. So I noticed this when I was researching this interview. I noticed that in your sophomore year at Western Colorado, y'all were playing Colorado Mesa, and you threw a pass for 4 yards. I want to know why it didn't go for more and whose fault was it?
I threw a pass for 4 yards.
That's what it says, man. Maybe it's a little shuffle pass or something.
That might be a hiccup because I don't know. With me and passes, like in my high school career, I said I had 1 pass for 2 touchdowns.
Oh, somebody was drunk.
I never threw a pass.
Somebody was drunk. They was like, give it to Austin shit. Who knows? It was probably Austin shit. He's doing everything else out there. Who knows, man? Well, I wonder if you're going to lobby your new coach for another pass attempt, and maybe this time it'll go for like 5 yards. Who knows, man?
Hey, as long as we're progressing.
Yeah, there you go, man. Hey, it's the first and second and 5. You're good to go.
Awesome. The 17-game season, man. I'm real curious to hear your thoughts on that extra game. A little extra wear and tear on your body, maybe, but what are your thoughts overall?
Yeah, man. Like, I don't know. I'm split because, like, sure, now we all get 1/17 more of our contract. So monetarily it's great, but now we all get 1/17 more of wear and tear. So like in the grand scheme, 1 game is really not that much, but I think it's just the longevity of the league. It's like, okay, now we're at 17, now we're at 18, now we're at 19. Like just for further down the line, I feel like just the more wear and tear is going to start to slowly increase. And so it's a balance for everybody. Really, do you care about money or you care about your body more, right? Or where do you draw the line and say, okay, I can't do anymore. So, I mean, obviously I'm playing the game. We signed the CBA, we signed the contract. And, I'm, like I said, like, it's just like all the guys that get hurt in week 17, like, cause people are going to get hurt. People get hurt every year. So like, damn, like, see, it's not going to be like a crazy more amount. It's going to be probably stay within the numbers, but it's like, this is why we don't want more games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm not going to ask you to speak on behalf of the NFL and say, how does everybody else that you talk to feel about it? But is this a hot topic? Are a lot of players like buzzing about this big change right now?
Yeah, it's a hot topic just because it's something new. And especially when we've been doing the same thing for a really long time and it's been working well and we've been having increased numbers, increased ratings, like viewership's going up. It's like, okay, why? Like, what are we doing here? yeah, it's definitely a hot topic, and it's definitely something we've all discussed, and we have all of our different opinions. It goes back to, I see a trend where, older players, obviously they don't want the more wear and tear, but younger players are like, okay, well, I'll take the extra paycheck. Yeah. Right. And so it's kind of how it goes, right? You're hungry, trying to get into a league. I want to get paid as much as I can. And absolutely. I probably would have been the same way, but another paycheck. Yeah. And you get your contract. Now you're like, wait a minute.
yeah, right.
You're playing more now?
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense why you're kind of split on it, because you're right in the middle. You're not one of these aging veterans, but you're not a rookie either. So it kind of makes sense.
And I'm like, I'll take another paycheck, but at the same time, like I played running back, one of the most,
you're taking some hits. And in the NFL, Austin, when you first came in, you first got noticed by playing scout team special teams, which is like literally starting at the bottom. How difficult was that? And then also, like, did you envision your career like coming to where it is now? And can you do you sometimes think back, obviously, and you're like, damn, dog, I was on scout teams, special teams,
undrafted too, small school, undrafted.
And had you played special teams before coming into this?
Bro, I love that I was sixth string. Literally, there was 5 running backs in front of me, and I love that I was on scout team, special teams, man. Yeah. I love it now because I made it to this point, but like looking back, that just gets me juice, man. Because I'm just like, I literally left everything. I dropped school. I went and trained as hard as I could, and I put everything into this opportunity. And I literally started at the bottom. Literally, I was wearing number 3. Tell me all the running backs to wear number 3. You can't. She's not a legal number as a running back. So basically, I'm just Coach Lynn at the time didn't even know my name. He didn't know who I was. He even admitted it during when we made the 53. He's like, I didn't even know who this guy was. He's down here making plays. Yeah. And so that's how irrelevant I was to this team. And so I just had to force my way in. And literally, I had like maybe 4 or 5 reps of practice, and some of them came on special team, scout team, right? And so anytime it was full speed, I just had the mindset like I am untouchable. Like no one can block me. I can block anybody. I'm locking everybody down. Wow. And so literally, I was just going as hard as I could. I left everything out there, and it ended up being enough. I remember one time we were in a special teams meeting, and Coach Lynn came in and he asked Coach Stu, our special teams coach, like, who is number 3 running down the field like that? And Coach Stu goes, that's Austin Ekeler, sir. He's been giving us a hell of a look. And so that's really where I started to get some notice. Yeah. And then we had preseason games, and I was making tackles down in preseason. I actually led. It's actually a stat that I bet you guys didn't know, but my rookie year, I led the entire NFL in tackles on punt.
Oh, damn. I didn't know that.
Ooh, nice.
Wow.
18,
look at you.
Something like that. Yeah.
Nice.
So I was out there just headhunting.
Yeah.
Man.
So I'm going to the Pro Bowl, motherfucker. You better quit playing.
To the moon.
I love it. Austin, I've seen a lot of your interviews, man. You're a pretty modest guy. I wonder, with you being undrafted, right? With you going to a small school, I saw scouting reports, people say, hey, he's too short. Can he play in the NFL? Do you have that chip on your shoulder? There's some NFL players that are really outspoken, and they're like, these a number of teams passed on me in the draft, and I take that personally. Do you get a little extra satisfaction knowing that you were constantly the underdog and people constantly doubted you?
I don't know. Because for me, everything's like internal. Like everything's for me. It's like, let me build on this opportunity right there. Like I could care less what other people think unless it really is unfairly, affecting me. As long as I have the opportunity, okay, man, everything's on me. It's all on me. Like I have to make advantage of this opportunity so I can create the next. Right. And that's been my mindset. And that's been my goals always. Everyone asks, what are your goals for the season? Build on what I did last season. And so even coming to the NFL was, okay, what's my goal? Like, I'm going to do everything in my power, study as long as I can, as hard as I can, make sure I'm asking the right question. I'm going to talk to coaches. I'm doing everything possibly that I can to implement myself into my passion, which is making this team right now. And so that's what I did. And it was all about my mindset. It was all about my mentality. And then I got to that point, and then boom, okay, I busted my way in and had grown to a role where now I find myself starting and trying to pull other people along like I was. I'm trying to help that guy that I used to be. Like, come on, man. Like, I need you. We need you for this team and organization to be successful.
Transitioning into a leader now instead of just a guy that's trying to make the team.
Right, because I've been there, man. I've been there. Like, I was sixth string, man.
I was a Pro Bowl special teamers, man. Come on, kid. I got my name hanging from the rafters.
5 other people got reps in front of me. And now I get the rep first.
Austin, Coach Lynn, he seemed like a really cool dude, man. I watched the Hard Knocks and everything. He seems like a great guy, awesome coach as well. I want to know what it's like for you from going from a coaching staff that noticed you, that gave you your first opportunity, to now a whole new coaching staff. I did read that when you talked to Coach Staley that your first conversation was about you as a person and that type of thing instead of like X's and O's and everything. You appreciate that. But what's it like going from the coaching staff that gave you your first opportunity to now a whole new transition, a whole new team?
Right. So, I mean, those guys always have a place in my heart. Obviously, they deserve that because they're the reason that I was on this team, because they helped me, gave me the tools and knowledge to actually make the team in the NFL. And, you know, I still have contact with my running back coach from the past 2 years and a couple other guys as well. And that's how it is in the NFL. Like, you just stay connected with each other. It's actually a really tight-knit community, tight-knit business. But it's a new opportunity for everyone. You know, that's how the NFL is. It's always fluid, right? And so it's a new opportunity for those guys to maybe, you know, have some success in a different place. And it's a new opportunity for Coach Staley to come in, establish what he's going to do and the mindset that he wants to do at the team, the culture, and him for establish. So I actually went and talked to Coach Staley, and this was after we had the phone call about just relationship stuff like that. And I just wanted to get in there and just see what he's about. Like, because that's what it comes down to is culture. Like, we have great players. We had great players for so long. That's why we've been a good team. But there's something in our formula that's been messed up or not on the right track in the past years that I've been here. And so that's why we've been a good team. A good team in the NFL is going to go 8-8, 9-7, 7-9. That's what we've done for, I feel like, ever, besides the year we went 12-4. It's like, how do we get that formula? Well, we got to change something. Like, it's got to be some type of culture change, whether it's the way we practice, the way we are disciplined and focused in meetings, like weight room, like something. So it's just a new opportunity for Coach Staley to come in here, establish himself, us to work around him. I'm really looking forward to learning his ways of thought and just helping, like I said, bring as many people to be successful as I can.
And what are your conversations with Coach Lombardi been like? And also, is he like, being the grandson of Vince Lombardi, is he old school? Is he new school? Is there a mixture? What kind of guy is he?
So the only interaction I've had with Coach Lombardi, our new offensive coordinator, for those of you who don't know, is I walked into the building one day and they were having a coach's offensive meeting, and he was up there standing writing up this play. And there was a running back that had like a special route like out wide. I'm just like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about,
man.
We got some inside information. Yeah,
that's all you're gonna get. Yeah. But no, it was just good to see. Guys was like, yes, let's go. Like, put me in a
that's
space
awesome.
where I can be taken advantage of as far as my skill set.
Yeah,
and yeah.
Go ahead. I was going to say that's what's very unique about your skill set is that you are an amazing pass catcher out of the backfield as well. I've got a stat here that you're the first running back. Where is it at here? First rookie running back since Dan Reeves in 1966 to have more than 5 pass catching touchdowns. Did you know that?
So my rookie year?
Hold on a second. Let me see. Where's it at?
I think it was a little different.
It was Dan Reeves. I know this. Hold on. Dude, I got so many. Here it is.
There we
first undrafted running back in NFL history to have 5 or more receiving touchdowns in a season since Dan Reeves in 1966.
That's a long time back.
That's what's up.
Yeah, dude.
A long time back.
Did some research, man. I wasn't messing around.
That's a since 19. So what? Am I tied with him right now?
Yeah, so I'd assume to have 5 or more. So I don't know. I'm assuming I don't know how many Dan Reeves has, and I'm assuming that's Dan Reeves from the Falcons. I didn't know he was that versatile, man.
Yeah.
Shit. Back in the day.
Before our time.
Yeah.
Austin, I got a question for you, man. So a big controversial topic earlier this year was the turf at MetLife Stadium. Giants and Jets turf. Some players, particularly on the 49ers, like 2 or 3 of them went down in one game. I know that you haven't played there recently, but I'm curious, like if you were a free agent, and like, let's say all else is equal, like the money is about the same, your chances of winning the Super Bowl is about the same, the location's the same, all the stuff that's important for you in a contract. Would a turf that has some question marks like play into your pros and cons list at all in terms of like where you go to play?
I don't think so. No, it would not. No. Because I feel like at this point, if there is like an actual turf that's actually like hurting people like more than usual, like we're gonna get it replaced.
Yeah.
Like the NFL, we're too big of an organization with too many resources to allow some place to be actually more dangerous than any other turf field.
Good point. It seemed to die down. Like that was early in the season, and it seemed to kind of like people kind of calm down a little bit about that.
Yeah,
Maybe just a crazy coincidence all in one game.
I think it was just a lot of just, people that are just stars on their team were getting hurt.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it happens every year, but it just so happened that it was happening at the stadium.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like everyone's trying to find a couple
guys. Yeah.
And that just draws headlines because of their stature, those athletes and stuff.
People trying to get clicks like, oh, MetLife, like this is terrible. Like, nah, come on.
Yeah.
Right.
So I want to know. Go ahead. I
was gonna say, why is it just terrible this year? All these other years, like we're straight.
Right.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So I want to ask you, transitioning from Phillip Rivers to Justin Herbert. So he had such a good year last year. What's his ceiling, or do you think he has one?
Shoot, man, I feel like just as far as athletically and just arm talent and just the physical attributes, I feel like he's probably as good as it's going to come as far as NFL quarterbacks now. He's mobile. He can bomb it down the field. The accuracy's there. And so I think the ceiling for him will be just the mental game, which I think he's going to destroy. I think he's going to be amazing at the mental game because he's a very smart kid, very dedicated to it. So I think he's absolutely going to push the bar even higher next year. But he already showed the physical part. Like, all we got to do is keep him healthy, man. I got to make sure I pick up everyone coming through, get out my quarterback. But I think it's just going to be the mental game where like changing plays, slide protections, just really putting ourselves in the offense in the best situation to go and actually, compete and move the ball. That's what it is for a lot of quarterbacks. A lot of quarterbacks have the talent. It's just the mental game that really separates people. And I saw that with Phillip a lot. Phillip would literally, if the defenders were lined up wrong, he'd be confused because you're supposed to be over here. Like, he knew the game that well. Like, he knew where people were coming, blitzing, and all this stuff. And so that's what made him successful. Just trying to, just put his mind into the game, and then whatever he wants to do, that's what he's going to do. And that's what he's going to put us in that position. And so with Jay Herb, he's trying to get to there. And it was actually kind of cool because not cool, but I got hurt in week 3, but it was cool to see his development when I came back in week 11 and 12 and to see his mental discipline and his mental side grow. Cause now he's out here changing, the slides. He's pointing out, different audibles and stuff like that. And so he wasn't doing that when I got hurt because he was so new. So it made sense, but yeah, I think the mental part is what's really going to elevate him.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's good stuff, man.
Yeah. So I read that with your first big contract, you bought a Chrysler.
Used Chrysler. That's discipline, right?
That was when I first got into the league.
Yeah, when you first got into the league.
Okay.
When you first got in the league, that's what you got. That's hilarious, man.
I got it. Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude, that was discipline.
In the ground.
You should have just got a Hyundai or something, man. Dang. Was a Mazda too? Mazda. He's like, them Mazda's too expensive, dog. I'm not getting one of those.
That's discipline, though, man. The running back's got to have discipline. You can't hit the hole too quick. That's financial discipline. But on a serious note, I mean, I was impressed. I heard your interview with GQ talking about, the real estate investments and kind of spending your money wisely. Where does that come from? I mean, have you always had that mindset? I know you talked about having the financial advisor. I mean, has that always been something that's intrigued you, spending your money wisely?
Going back to college, I was a business major. And so I knew I was actually going into business. I loved business, just as far as the whole production, right? And I wanted to have my own business one day. And that's where I kind of started just to learn about money, how money works. And just really, when I got to the NFL, I was like, this is an opportunity monetarily that I could set myself up to make enough passive income that it could pay for all my expenses. And so I just did a lot of research through like YouTube, because that's the way everyone researches nowadays. It seems like, watch a bunch of YouTube, right?
He's like, I'm an expert now. I'm pretty much an expert.
Right. So I started seeing all these videos about just having multiple income streams. And so I really, got connected. My mother's a real estate agent. So that was the connection I had there. And actually owned my first rental before she was a real estate agent. So I was like to say, I gave her some motivation. Ever since then, I've been, starting some companies here and there, like my foundation, just trying to find a way to give back to the community and share. It's just about helping. My financial education was basically for me to help myself just monetarily, and then hopefully overflow that into some of my other involvements.
Yeah. So you built a gymnasium, and then also you were providing school lunches for children as well, correct?
No, nothing but school lunches. And so it's not a gymnasium. I always say gym and assume people just
okay, my bad.
think of like weight room. Because when I say gym, like, I'm going to the weight room. Yeah. So it's a weight room.
Okay, cool.
It's not like an actual basketball.
Okay.
Gym, and so, yeah, if you don't mind, I'll go into it. Yeah.
Oh, please do. Yeah, I want to hear all about the Austin Ekeler Foundation, man.
Yeah, so the Austin Ekeler Foundation, basically my upbringing, I had resources that kind of helped me basically set myself apart and really just learn the social discipline, learn, how to work in a team, learn how to work hard. And, I learned a lot of skills that have transferred throughout the rest of my life. And I'm really trying to help that person that I used to be. And so I'm doing that by implementing more resources into communities. So we just started, we're pretty new, but the first thing that we've provided so far was a weight room to Santa Barbara High School, where they're 70% free and reduced lunch. They have 2,200 students there, and they have like one weight room that's really functional and one that was not. And so they had a huge need for that. And so it's just like the gym was so important to me for those aspects that I was really happy that I was able to provide that for our first project. I'm not just going to stick in gyms or weight rooms, stuff like that. I'm venturing out. Have a new project coming up in Griffith Park, where it's going to be a bit more of a social, more of a just, talk about your passions and be outside, a way for you to use technology to express yourself outside. That's as much as I can say about that right now, but we are having our second project, really just trying to hit home on really 4 things: mental health, physical health, social life, and motivations. And so those are the big things that the foundation that I've started is really trying to help, especially younger people, really learn about those things that they can transfer later on into their life.
Yeah, these are things that everyone struggles with, all right? Especially as youth, mental, that's something that it hasn't been up until recently, people shining a light on mental health and how important that is. And also staying in shape, man, exercising and everything like that, how good that is for your mental health as well.
A lot of it comes down to just lack of education, whether it's the parents or whether it's just, they're not around enough people that just, are dedicated and motivated, have all these aspects of their life. And so it's really hard to go and talk to young people about, hey, these 4 things are important, right? That's not how, you learn at that age. You learn by going out and doing things. And so that's why the Austin Ekeler Foundation is putting resources and not going and talking around the world about all these different things. We're going to put resources like gyms, like things in the park where people can actually go experience, work as a team, like learn mental discipline, like where they actually have to apply it. And that's how they're going to naturally learn it themselves. And that's a way where they can use the resource to the magnitude that they want to use it. They might just want to use it just to get by for the gym, for instance. They might want to just use it just for, just education as far as how to stay healthy. Or they might want to use it to, like I did, just to grind and try to make it, further in sports. And so the resources allow the person to use their own motivation and use their own just will and to kind of direct where they're trying to go in their life.
And that's awesome because you're someone that they obviously probably look up to, man. And for you to be telling them these things and stressing the importance of mental health and physical activity and stuff like that, it's going to stick in their minds a little bit easier if it's just like somebody that they don't, that isn't as impactful, I guess, in their lives.
And see, that's not even the thing. Like, I don't want the recognition. I just want them to have the things there, awesome. Like, I just want them to have it there. Like, the recognition is great for as far as like funding and stuff like that. And people like, will donate so I can go and implement these things because I have the resources and people and structure to do that. When a lot of people don't, they might just be able to give funds. So it's like, that's where the recognition really cares. Like as far as the kids, the people that are using it, I don't care if they know who uses it or who made it or what, right? I just want them to use it and learn what I want them to learn, basically, just to help their life be something that they are actually expecting it to be.
Yeah.
And the timing's perfect. I just read a study that 60% of people gained unwanted weight during the pandemic. Yeah. And we know, like, with people having to isolate more and not able to go outside as much, that's not great for mental health. So the timing of what you're doing is tremendous, man. That's awesome. I wanted to ask you, you're doing something really, really cool on draft night. And I want you to tell the listeners about it because I'm excited. I'm going to be watching. I want to hear more about this, man.
So long story short, I love helping people. So I started helping people run their streams and started this company called Gridiron Gaming Group. It's basically, like I like to say, it's a rec center for people to come be a member of. We have all like athletes right now, just because that's really I have connections with people that stream. And I just help them run their streams, help them connect with the community, build brands. And so we that's like one side of Gridiron Gaming Group. The other side is we do events. So we have a draft day event, Gridiron Gaming Group draft day event, which is going to be around the NFL draft. It's basically going to be a big social event where, people that represent every single team that's drafting that day. So I think who's on the Jags are first, I believe, overall.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we'll have someone representing the Jaguars, probably someone from their team, or maybe some influencer that is really big fan of the team. They're going to come in. They're going to have the 10 minutes on the clock. They're going to be able to come in, talk about live, talk about what they have going on, basically self-promote themselves. We'll talk about the pick a little bit, and we'll continue to go down the line and have a representative for every single draft. So it's a big social. Awesome. You can find us on Twitch. It'll be a great event at Austin Ekeler on Twitch on draft day. So
that's awesome.
And then who are some of the players that you teamed up with for this organization?
Yeah. So as far as Gridiron Gaming Group, actually there's a lot of diversity as far as sports. Like we have Alicia Gray, who's a WNBA player. Nice. We have Connor Daly, who is a IndyCar driver. Right. I have Mike Williams, who also plays for the Chargers. Justin Jones plays for the Chargers. Trent Sigg plays for the Raiders. Avante Maddox plays for the Eagles. Boston Scott also plays for the Eagles. So we have mainly NFL because that's where a lot of my connections go, but we're starting to branch out. Awesome. We have Tommy Canley. He's a pitcher for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
So,
So
that's awesome.
We're just trying to help all these athletes basically build their brand and connect with the community on a deeper level on Twitch.
Man, you're doing all this stuff in the off season and still have time to stay in good enough shape to squat 405 pounds dude. Like it's nothing.
Killing it, man.
13 times. Get out of here.
You always got to start a day off with a workout.
Yeah.
That's good advice.
Going, get the juice.
I start my day out with a bowl of Cheetos. You know what I mean? Breakfast of champions. It's the most important meal of the day, man. I don't skimp on that. I'll be honest with you. But go to shop.austineckler.com to purchase Austin Ekeler Foundation hoodies, T-shirts, and more. All the sales, all sales. There we go, right there. All sales benefit future foundation project. Oh, there you go. You can buy one of those. You can find him on Twitter at Austin Ekeler, Instagram Austin Ekeler, twitch.tv/Austin Ekeler, www.austineckler.com. Dog, you got so many do you got an OnlyFans too, man? You got so many profiles.
That's a lot of information right there.
Get one.
Austin, we had so much fun, man. We hope you had half as much fun as we did. Brother. Thank you so much for the time. We really appreciate it.
No, thank you guys for having me on. I really appreciate talking about everything and being able to express myself. So thank you guys for that.
Thanks, brother. We'll be rooting for you, man, for sure.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, guys.
Good luck this year, brother.
Take care.
Peace
out.
That's Austin Ekeler, man, starting running back for the Los Angeles Chargers. That was an awesome interview, dude. What a cool guy. Man. What a cool dude, man.
I was going to ask you, what was the highlight of that interview, but there were so many. That was such a great conversation.
I like what he's doing with because so many times we talk about just athletes and just stats and what they accomplish on the field and everything like that. People that are taking their for lack of a better word, like the money that he has, the fame that he's amassed, and using it for something good and helping impact young kids' lives, I think is very important, man, because there's going to be some kids out there, he's not, it's hard to do it by the millions or hundreds of thousands, but he's going to impact a lot of kids' lives, and he's going to make their lives a lot better, give them tools to help them be better people, and then also in turn have better relationships in their lives. He's making a positive impact, man, and I think that's awesome. And that stands out to me above how accomplished he is on the field, because he is an awesome running back. But that's awesome, man. What he's doing, man, and that he's so involved. And like you said, such a busy guy, but still finds time to squat 400 plus pounds and to make a concerted effort to change his community, man. That's really cool.
Yeah, man. And you can tell he lights up when he talks about this stuff. Sometimes with celebrities and athletes, I'm like, are they just doing this charity stuff because someone's telling them they should? But no, this man, it's genuine. You can tell that he is enjoying the heck out of what he's doing off the field and the difference that he's making. And that's really refreshing to see.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said in the interview, man, he's not just doing this just to put his name on something and walk away and be like, hey, I built that, enjoy it. You're welcome, motherfuckers. Right. You know what I'm saying? No, he's like, he doesn't care about the recognition, man. He's just doing it. He's trying to build up knowledge about all these problems that are going on and everything like that, and how you can help. And you can do that by going to his website and helping out there, buying some gear, get some for your family, your friends, what have you. And if you're in the Santa Barbara area, if you're in the LA area, check out all the other projects that he's got going on there because they're really cool and worthwhile.
I like what he said about education at the end, man. You know what I mean? He's like, you're talking to these kids. You can't just say to a kid, you can't just say to a 12-year-old or a 14-year-old, you need to do these 4 things, man. When we were 12 or 14 and our parents or somebody said that to us, like at that point, we're just gonna be like, yeah, okay, I get it. I get it. And then you're just going to walk away, put your iPod, your earpods back in and forget all about it. But no, he's actually,
if it's an NFL player telling you that, it holds a little bit more credence.
Exactly. And he's not just saying that, but he's putting the money into it to create these settings. That's awesome. Really,
he's going to
really
be good, man. He's had a good couple years in the NFL so far, and I think he's going to blossom this year. And you've got a great new quarterback, great new offensive staff, it looks like. And as you said, alluded to in that interview, that they're going to look for some interesting ways to get him the ball and get him more involved and everything. As you should, you got to take advantage of that kind of talent when you have it, because he is a premier dual threat running back in the NFL right now.
No doubt about it. I think for him, the key is going to be staying healthy. You know what I mean? Especially with that extra game like we talked about.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But depth is going to be very important this year in the NFL, obviously.
Oh, yeah, obviously. Even more so than other years.
Yeah, definitely.
Chad, when are they going to expand the roster size in the NFL?
So they're keeping 53-man rosters.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, they got to add at least 2 or 3 more roster spots, and then at least, we
got a different NFL today. We got players leaving the field because of concussions. We got, injuries are up.
Yeah.
And we're still keeping that same roster size. Yes, they've expanded the practice squad. But with the COVID stuff, with the concussions, come on, man.
Yeah, man.
Let's increase the roster size.
At the very least, we got to do that,
Yeah.
Or maybe give them an extra bye week. I don't understand why we can't give them 2 bye weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
If you got a 17-game season, give them, a bye week, week 5. I mean, not everybody, obviously, but you can space it out. But give them a bye week at the first half and then in the second half of the season, I think is totally logical. No one's going to give a shit if there's one less game on a week, you got to space those out. But do that, keep the players healthy. Hell, I'll be happy that it lasts a week longer, man. To be honest, it gives me another excuse. I'm sorry, honey, I can't do shit this week at week 17. I'd love to help with cleaning the gutters, but week 17, big deal. So
true story.
Yeah, man. So I don't see why they haven't said, hey, let's add another bye week. Who cares, man? The Super Bowl's already played in February. Who gives a damn if it's February 20th or February 15th, So, I totally agree with that. I think that they need to at least add a bye week, man. Come on, at the very least.
Absolutely. Put player safety first.
Yeah, you got to help these guys out, man. Put your money where the mouth is.
It's all about player safety, player safety. But the money is a big piece of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's a big, and they don't want to admit it. They're never going to say that ever.
Totally agree. But that's definitely the case, man. And so let's hope that happens, man, or expanded rosters or something like that. Great interview, man. Great to talk to Austin. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. What a cool dude, man. Really cool dude.
How can you not root for that dude?
Yeah, you got to, man. I'm going to be watching this year. I don't even play fantasy football, but I'm going to do it and then just draft him and then, just so I can say I drafted him and just be like, yeah, man, we're kind of friends, man. We, we know each other a little bit, Like, hey, do you know Austin? I'm like, yeah, man, kind of.
Yeah, man.
I talked to him for like 27 minutes one time, man.
Yeah. The challenging part of putting this interview together was there was so much. Like, we didn't even get into like his gaming. Like, he's a huge gamer as well. Just such an interesting guy, like a Renaissance man. He's got so many interests, so many skills.
Literally a Renaissance man. So, sure. We didn't get to have the stuff that we got, but it was an awesome interview. Glad we got to talk about that. Tony, let's give everybody a little bit of rundown on our background and everything like that, because we got straight into the interview. This is our first episode. We want to explain to people who we are and what we're doing. Tony, you just want to maybe start off with tell us a little bit about your sports background and why you started a sports podcast, basically.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So growing up, I think DNP-CD is the perfect title for this podcast because I was that guy that was not good at sports. I'd play baseball for my city for a couple of years. You know what I mean? And I played freshman football one year and I was terrible. I never got on the field unless we were up by a lot or down by a lot. But I was always super passionate about sports. In fact, in high school, man, I didn't have a lot of friends.
Eye black on and stuff, even though you weren't playing. You're like, Tony, you're not going to play, dog. He's like, you can take the eye black off. He's like, nah, man, I'm keeping this shit on.
You're not that far off, man. But for me, in high school, sports was social capital. I didn't have a lot of friends, but because I could talk sports and I was knowledgeable about sports, I could fit in with some of the somewhat cool kids and have some conversations, So always been a sports fanatic, never been super athletic. And my first job, besides a short stint working at a CVS, my first job was working at a newspaper in the sports department. And, putting together box scores when the high school coaches would call in and all that. Eventually worked my way up to be a sports writer. And then got a lot of really cool opportunities in my sports writing career working for newspapers.
Yeah, you covered some professional sports as well,
got to cover the NFL as like a 25 or 26-year-old.
I was about the same age, man.
Yeah, man. So cool. Cool for sure. And this podcast, I think our experiences, because you got that sports writing background too, man.
So we did
like the same. So well.
Very similar sports writing background. So I was a sports writer for over 5 years. I covered a lot of high school sports and everything, then worked my way up to covering the Cleveland Cavaliers. This was in Ohio, my home state. And got to cover the Cleveland Cavaliers during LeBron James' first.
I think I've heard of him.
He's all right, man. He's all right. During his first stint with the Cavaliers, I got to cover them during their Eastern Conference Finals run and everything, and they ended up making the championship one year. I was covering them.
Nice.
So I got to do that. I got to interview some very famous athletes, Kobe, LeBron, Yao Ming even, you know what I'm saying? A lot of famous guys, Allen Iverson, Carmelo Anthony, these types of guys. And so I did that. And then, but, I'm a comedian and that's my first love. And so I moved to Austin to pursue comedy. And I've been down here for 11 years now doing that. But I've always had a huge passion for sports still. I wanted to get back into that. And so after starting a podcast here at Hot Pie Media, they kept one of the CEOs kept telling me, like, man, you got to start a sports podcast. You got to do this, man. And so finally I was like, man, you're right. Let's do it. So we got together, brainstormed a little bit, and here we are. But
that's awesome.
I did play a little bit of sports in high school, man. I was played basketball. I was like I started, I was pretty good. I wasn't like great. I was like the Tony Kukoc. I was like the third or fourth best player on the team. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Like, I'm a guy that's going to give you like 11 and 7 or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some 7 hard-earned rebounds,
So
but
there's some people that aren't having video right now that are only hearing us. Chat just lit up. He's proud to say he was the Tony Kukoc.
Oh,
that
yeah.
felt good to
I'll
say
take that shit. Yeah. Dog, my game was, I was like a stretch 4. I was stretch 5 before that shit existed, man. For the team I played for, we were super athletic. And so you had to do multiple things. And so I was the tallest guy on the team. I was only like 6'3". So I had to guard like all these big guys and stuff. Some Sean Crable, who played in the NFL, played with the New England Patriots, went to the University of Michigan.
No shit.
Played against him. That guy was an animal. Had to guard him. This dude's like 6'6", 260 or some shit. My little 6'3", 170 pounds, soaking wet ass is over there like, come on, please don't elbow me.
I feel like that wasn't good for your self-esteem to have to go up against.
No, actually, I held my own, man. I was all right.
All right.
I probably held him like 4 points below sea's season average. I was like, man, just killing it.
Yeah.
I'm a lockdown defender. I'm a Kobe stopper, if you know what I mean. But yeah, man. So I was like, I had a good mid-range game, man. I have like a late 90s NBA game, dude.
Okay.
So if we go out and play and shit, I'm going to hit them 15-footers from the elbow.
I'll be in trouble. I'll be in trouble.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna play below the rim though. I'm gonna get you some 15-footers, a little spin action or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna wow you with my athleticism anymore. Nice. I'm 36. I can't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'll be feeling it tomorrow. I might be able to touch the rim on a good day.
Right.
But yeah. So that's my sports writing background. So it's awesome that we get to be able to do this in a different format because this is our show, man. And Hot Pie Media does not censor us. They allow us to talk about whatever we want to. They give us the freedom to do that, which is awesome. Which is one of the biggest reasons why we're with them. But so we get to talk to these athletes about some things that they're probably not used to talking about. And we're not going to ask them. We kind of made this our mission statement that we're not going to ask athletes, cliche, annoying bullshit questions that they get asked after every single game that they play.
Because you and I have been in the locker rooms when people are asking those annoying cliche bullshit questions, and we're the ones rolling our eyes saying, come on, God. They're going to give you a canned answer.
Yeah, it's always the same shit. So you guys got out-rebounded 40-27. What was the reason for that? It's like, I don't know, because they're fucking bigger than us, dude. I don't know. The fuck, what do you want me to say? But they're saying the same shit every time. But yeah, so, I would see it, I don't know if you did, but I would see the athletes like roll their eyes too. Like, dog, come on. Shit, you asked this question last night.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, we're trying to stay away from that. We want to get to know.
Baseball can be 5 nights a week, and they're getting asked the same questions every single night.
These guys have lost the passion, and so that's what we're trying to bring back to sports is and highlight is our passion for sports, our love of sports. Also, we want to get to know these athletes on a different level, as we did with Austin Ekeler. There, we find out about his foundation, who he is as a person, what else he has interest in. We're not just talking about the same old shit. We're not just like pigeonhole these people as strictly just athletes. We want to talk to them about who they are as people, things that excite them, and then also their passions outside of athletics and stuff. And so that's what the type of interviews we're going to bring to you each and every week. And so we're really looking forward to it because we got some really big guests lined up. We got some sports writers. We got some future authors, coaches, players, all this stuff. We're going to be talking to a lot of different people. And it's going to be exciting, man. It's going to be a lot different than anything people are used to.
Yeah, man. Let's plug our social media handles because we got to build those up.
Yeah, we do, man. So you definitely want to go to hotpiemedia.com. You can find all of our information on there, past episodes, all that stuff. You can also find us on Instagram. We are at DNP-CD Sports. On Twitter, we are also at DNP-CD Sports. So you can find us on both of those. We're setting up the Facebook. By the time this airs, we'll have Facebook set
Absolutely.
up.
And then my Twitter is at Tony's Health Tips on Twitter.
Yeah. And on me on Twitter is at Comedy Chad. You can also go to my website, chadfishercomedy.com. I've got a bunch of sketches, prank calls, all that stuff on there. On Instagram, I'm at Chad Fisher Comedy. Facebook.com/Chad Fisher Comedy. My OnlyFans is let me see your butthole 7.
Man, I love that you bring that humor to this show, man.
Yeah,
because
man.
who wants to watch a podcast for 30 minutes and 60 minutes? That's just like,
same shit, man.
Yeah,
same
exactly,
shit. So we're gonna have a little bit of comedy. We're gonna be funny. We're going to try to be funny at least. At least I hope I'm funny. Shit, otherwise it's going to be a long-ass podcast. But we would have talked about different things and stuff like that. And we're also going to do some sports betting stuff as well.
Man,
so
and that actually transitions into our next guest,
segment.
Man.
And so we're going to transition to our next segment, which is our guest is...
Pam Maldonado from Oddshark. She's a bet analyst. She's tremendous, man. She nailed the Australian Open finals, man.
Damn.
Yep.
What's up, dude?
Yeah. So I can't wait
we need to get some tips.
I can't wait to talk to her. And she promised me that we could talk about NFL future bets.
Oh, shit.
In terms of what are some good odds on Oddshark for the Super Bowl next year.
Okay. I was looking at those last night, prepping for this interview and everything. So we're looking forward to it.
Should be a good conversation with Pam.
So we're going to get right into that right now. Hey, guys, we just want to take a quick second to tell you about one of our sponsors.
Chad, go fund yourself.
What did you say to me?
Yeah, man. Go fund yourself with life, disability, and Medicare coverage licensed in Texas, Maine, and Colorado. For more information, go to alfonzomurray.com.
And that is ALFONZOMURRAY.com.
Yeah, it's the best life insurance coverage through Mutual of Omaha with Alfonso Murray. All right, our next guest is Pam Maldonado from Oddshark. She is a former poker writer. She's also an avid weightlifter. Pam took 5th place in a bodybuilding competition of 11 women, and she's currently bulking up for her next competition in July. But again, the reason we're here to talk to her today is because of her work as a bet analyst at Oddshark. Pamela, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me today. And yes, bodybuilder I am.
Yes. We just talked to Austin.
All the food.
That sounds like a fun job to have right now.
She's like, I'm going to have like 3 gallons of water by the time this interview's over, so don't mind me if I'm just like chugging over here. Don't worry about it.
I love it. By the way, Pam can also be found on Twitter at PamElam35 and Instagram at FootballFit35. Pam, my first question for you is, what did you want to be when you grew up, and at what point did you know you wanted to be a bet analyst?
When Oddshark hired me.
All right, that'll do it.
What did I want to do when I grew up? Oh my God. So I prepared my entire life for going into being a lawyer. I actually had like dreams of being a Supreme Court judge. And I told my mother, like my mom worked for the district attorney all her life. And so that's being in politics, being on campaign trails, working for judges and lawyers and working for senators. I mean, that's been my whole life. And so I took a complete pivot in 2010 when my dude who works, he was working for a construction company at the time. He was an estimator and playing poker on the side. And then, of course, the 2010 poker crash happened. And when poker went out, he was like, let's move to Vegas. I was like, let's do it. So we packed up our stuff and we left. And on the side, I was doing writing already we lived in San Antonio. And I was doing writing on the side. And I said, well, if you're going to go play poker, let me go write for poker. And so I reached out to pokernews.com. I was with them for 7 years. And then I left my job and here I am with Oddshark. So it's kind of a good right time, right place at the right time situation.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
awesome. When you're analyzing a matchup, when you're analyzing different sports, how do you begin to dissect it? I know you can't give us your exact secret sauce, your proprietary blend, right? But what are some of the key things that you're looking at for different sports?
I mean, football, every sport's going to be different. So for something like tennis, I've been watching tennis for so long that I'm already so familiar with all of these players that I don't even know what stats to look at. I've never even looked at a stat for tennis, other than like, who did they play in their last match? Like that's, I think, the extent of the research that I mostly do for tennis. I watch every single match, Europe time, my time. It doesn't matter what time I'm up on watching it. So I'm more familiar with that. There's somebody that I can talk to who's just as versed in tennis as I am. So that kind of makes it easy. For something like football, though, I got into sports betting because of the stats that are behind it. And so I kind of so what I was doing like in 2000, let's say like 2015, what I was doing then is not exactly the same as what I am doing now, but it still holds the same bones, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I kind of like took maybe like 3 or 4 stats. And then I was like, oh, this really works for me. But then I kind of like, as I got more into, because when I started football, I was just really heavily into the Big 12. But then I started doing like the SEC and then the ACC and, the rest of college football. And so as I became more familiar with the teams, as I became more familiar with the playing styles, and even with just like the logistics of football itself, the game, my little 3-4 stats turned into like 5-6 stats, and then it turned into like 8-9 stats. And then not that necessarily I'm still using like 10 stats, but it's like I'm still using my 3 or 4 basis, but I'm using these extras as kind of like the toppings. Like here's my foundation, and let's say something like, it's not a secret that when you hear any type of analysis, whether it's a video, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a tweet, like I am mostly always first and foremost looking at a pass rush. Is your offensive line good?
Okay.
Yes or no? Is your pass rush good that's going to affect that offensive line? Yes or no? That's typically where I almost always start.
Are there injuries on that offensive line, right?
Exactly. And something like with KC in the Super Bowl, like there was. And so like something so obvious, you're going up against a Tampa Bay pass rush who's like the best in the NFL. And now you're going up against an offensive line who typically is well, but they have some injuries. Is it going to play a factor? And so kind of always start there. And then all those other like 8 to 9 stats that I was mentioning are just kind of like supplemental. So
were you able to call that Super Bowl victory with noticing the injuries on the Kansas City offensive line?
Yes, I was really heavy on Tampa.
Oh wow!
I was all over Tampa. So I had a futures in Tampa for like back in October, I think, like September, October.
Yeah,
and then everyone was asking like, "Are you going to hedge? Are you going to hedge?" And I was like, "No." And so I actually put more on Tampa at +3. I didn't take the money line because, of course, I had the futures, but I took more on +3. Not a hedge at all.
Wow.
Ooh, that takes some guts.
Yeah, that does take some guts.
That's awesome. That's conviction in your system that that works. And that's what I like about Pam's work. So if you follow her on Twitter, sometimes she'll show like her handwritten notes of like how she came to her decision.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's awesome. And
that's awesome.
So she's putting the work. Because some people are just on Twitter and they're like,
just talking
these are my
jive,
picks.
Yeah.
These are my 5 picks this week. You never know why.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you it's going to win, kid, okay? It's going to be, I'm going to tell you, it's going to be the Pats, baby, okay? The Pats are going to win every friggin' week, I'm telling you.
Exactly. Exactly. And so if she's on something, you know what she's on, and you often know why she's on it, which was what I really respect about your work for sure.
That's awesome. And so what are some of the good NFL future bets that you're looking at right now that you can tell us about anyways that you might think are attractive?
I mean, I had all the hopes and dreams for the Bears, but then they shot a dagger right through your heart and doing that QB1 tweet with Andy Dalton. And, what can you say about that? As a Bears fan, I had all the hype around potentially getting Russell Wilson, and then you end up having non-factor quarterback situation.
You said that really nicely.
Yeah, she was trying to pick her words.
I paused trying to be correct with that. But no, I would probably consider like Washington football team. I think they're probably like an under the radar team going into the season. I do think that they have the ability to not only win their division, but do well in the postseason. They had a really good defense last year, and of course, that's what carried them throughout the season and then carried them into the postseason. But now they picked up Fitzmagic, and I know that he can definitely bring some of that energy to the team. He has some of that long ball ability that they didn't previously have. And then you tie that in with some of the offensive weapons that they do have. It's a really fast offense. They have Terry McLaurin. You have Curtis Samuel. That was a really good signing. You have Antonio Gibson still out on the backfield. Adam Humphries, and then you kind of mix that in with McKissick. I mean, the playmaking ability is definitely there. And then they franchised their guard. They signed a cornerback with William Jackson. I'm really happy with their free agency signing that they've had.
That's a good call. And
you tie that in with Fitz magic. Give me some Fitz. I mean, anytime. If he happens to fit into that system, then I think the sky's the limit for them.
Yeah, and on defense, they're underrated on defense. You were talking about pass rush earlier and how in an in-game matchup that's important. They've got so many good early first round picks on that defensive line.
Would you have liked to seen Chicago go after Fitzmagic?
Yes, I would 100%.
Yeah, that'd have been way better than Dalton, right?
Fitzmagic over Dalton any day.
That's hilarious that they got Andy Dalton. Was Bubby Brister not available or something?
Wow, that's a blast from the past.
Yeah, dude. What's going on?
Wow.
I don't understand what's going on. Was Dave Craig had hung him up, I guess? They're just like, you know what? I don't know. Someone get Andy Dalton on the line. Shit, I don't know. We're running out of people.
So, Pamela, if someone were to go on OddsShark right now, what are the best lines right now if someone wanted to take your advice and maybe throw some pizza money on Washington? What would that look like? What would that return?
I haven't even looked at the
I'm looking at them right now. It's anywhere between plus 5,000 to
50 to 1,
6,600.
Ooh, so 66 to 1.
Yeah.
I think that's worth some pizza money for sure.
Might as
Absolutely,
well, dude.
Absolutely.
I think that we should learn something from the Washington football team. We should just all be more direct with our titles and everything. I can be called Chad, the somewhat average comedian, instead. We could just just start doing that. Just be more direct with our titles and everything. And
I like it.
We can do that. What about, so I'm a big Cleveland Browns fan. I'm looking at their odds now, and we're anywhere between 16 and 22. Is that is anybody talking about the Browns anymore, or were they more of a fashionable pick last year as opposed to this year?
I mean, it kind of seems... they were really good. They did really good things. You had that head coach that came in and he did some magic on that team. And what did he end up winning?
Coach of the year
after all?
Yeah.
He did. Yeah, he ended up winning Coach of the Year. So you would have to think that coming into a second year as a full-time head coach, he is going to be able to turn that. He already turned that team around. So now can they just develop and kind of pick up where they left off? We did see a lot of holes that needed to be filled, but I think that's where the offseason is going to come in and they're going to plug them up. I actually didn't pay too much attention to what they did in the offseason right now for free agency. But I would imagine that, they definitely have an ability, but it's a lot of competition on that side.
Yeah, and
definitely.
A team that's hungry. There's no such thing as a moral victory, right? But when you lose a playoff game the way they did to the Chiefs, they could have easily won that. And I know Mahomes was out, and Pamela and I were talking a little bit on Twitter about that game, and the Browns were live. The Browns could have won that game.
I like what Pam said. It definitely showed how many holes we have on our team. We have holes at every level of defense. I think we addressed that the defensive backfield a little bit, and we'll have Greedy Williams back next year. Denzel Ward was injured a lot this year as well. But we definitely need to get better on the defensive line. I think we have a great offensive line, as Pam has mentioned how important that is. But I also think we need some speed. And obviously, when OBJ went out, we lost a lot of our speed on the outside there. But we need some guys. We had a lot of possession receivers, it seemed like. We had a lot of guys that you're going to throw the ball, 13, they're going to get you 15. You know what I'm saying? So we need some guys that can take the top off of defense. We need some good slot guys. We've got Jarvis Landry, one of my favorite players in the NFL. Great possession guy, catches everything that you throw at him, but we need some more speed, definitely. And she's right. Hopefully OBJ can stay healthy. That'd be great if he could he could stay healthy, because that would help us big time. But yeah, tough division though, definitely. But definitely on the way up, I hope. Anyways,
yeah,
we'll see. It's been a long 30 years as a Browns fan, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. Pamela, where did the passion for weightlifting and bodybuilding come in? At what point in your life?
The bodybuilding didn't come until I moved to Austin. I was a Pilates and cycling instructor when I was living in Vegas, working for Poker News. And when I moved to Austin from Vegas, the type of Pilates and cycling that I was instructing wasn't here. The type of Pilates that I did, the woman who created this version of Pilates, she was actually the woman who directly taught me. And it was her studio that I was working at in Vegas. And so it hadn't yet made its way over to Texas. Now it is a couple of years later, but I'm already so deep into bodybuilding. But it was just really, I went to every single gym. I went to every single like fitness facility, like workout class. I went to everything under the sun here in Austin. And I just wasn't finding anything that gave me the same type of intensity that I had in Vegas. And so I was like, well, I guess I'll just go to the gym because I got nothing else to do. And I was like, well, going to the gym kind of sucks. And so you kind of had to think of what it is that's going to motivate you. And I was like, well, let's just do like a fitness competition. Like, let's try bikini. Why not? And so I reached out to a coach. And I was like, all right, I think I've been accidentally bulking my entire life. So I think I'm ready to like diet down and let's do this. And the coach that I had, the coach that I picked up, his girls, he's a really good, like well-known coach within the bikini world. And his girls were placed 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in Olympia. So, I mean, he's a really big deal. And so I would have potentially done better than 5th place, but he told me, you never once looked at the judges. And I was like, oh my God. He was in the crowd and he said that he was trying to get my attention to like look at the judges. And I wasn't even, because I wasn't looking at the crowd, I wasn't looking at the judges. I never saw him give me that. And he said, had I done, I could have won. So,
oh, wow. Next time you're going to be making all kinds of eye contact. You're going to be staring at him.
Overcompensating.
Hey, you see me?
Do you see me? Absolutely. But it was one of those things where like, if you're going to I'm always that person where if you're going to do something, you kind of have to have like a goal attached to it. So I'm not doing football just for like shits and giggles. Like I want to have a goal attached. I want to be right. That's your goal. I want to be right on every single thing. If I'm going to give an analysis, it's because I want my analysis to come to fruition exactly how I have it written out. It's kind of the same thing with like everything else. And so if I'm going to the gym, it's with purpose. It's not just necessarily to stay healthy. It's because I have a weekly goal, a monthly goal, a quarterly goal, and then ultimately, hey, I'm going to maybe do this competition. And so it's just like my way of staying motivated. It's my form of competition. Because when the Pilates that I was doing, the cycling I was doing, it was kind of competition because you're in the front of class of like 20, 30 people and they're all staring at you to like give me direction. And so that's your motivation right there. Well, now you have to motivate yourself. And I love bodybuilding, man. I'm obsessed with it. I wish I got into it earlier.
Where does that competitiveness come from? I mean, have you, as a child, were you that person that was flipping over boards for board games? I mean, where does that come from?
I've just been like an athlete my entire life. When I was younger, junior high, high school. Yeah, I was like playing every single sport. I hated soccer. I would try it anyway because I wanted to win. I wanted to be good. I did basketball. I was freshman as a varsity. I was varsity as a freshman. I was in golf my entire life. I've been playing tennis. I did every single sport under the sun. I did it just because I wanted to like prove that I could be good at it. And then it kind of like, it just like went into everything that I've done. I've been playing golf my entire life, but I've been playing with guys. I play right now from the blue tees because I don't know. I've never played with like women before. Yeah. I've always been around guys. So I think having like that, like mindset, that dude mindset of like, shit. All right, well, I'm going to compete with the boys.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like
I'm not going to lie. I play from the white tees. I don't play that blue shit. I'm not messing around with that. I'm trying to have fun, man. I'm not Tiger Woods out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've had people like that. They're like, hey, why don't we play from the blacks? I'm like, I don't know because I don't have my tour card. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit. It's like,
if anybody's saying let's play from the black, no, screw them.
Not doing that.
Can I get a new group, please?
Yeah, can we please? I need new friends, man. I'm not playing with this guy. God. No, that's awesome. That's fantastic.
Favorite course to play on?
Yeah, I'm a golfer as well, so I played a lot of the courses here in Austin. So I want to know.
Or nationwide. Nationwide.
Yeah.
My favorite courses are in Vegas, to be honest.
Okay.
Like I think all of the courses in Vegas are so spectacular because it is a tourist town. So they are meant to be green and perfect 12 months out of the year.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Yeah. And your ball goes a little farther, right?
And I don't know about that.
Does it? Is Vegas
in Vegas?
Is Vegas?
Oh, you talking about like the humidity?
Well, I know. Okay, I don't know if that had any impact on it, but I've heard like in Denver, like your ball goes like 10 yards farther. Yeah. I checked it out. I'm probably like really great in Denver. If I go there, I'm like fucking like a scratch golfer. So it's just it's this damn sea level that's holding my game back. That's what it is.
Man.
That's what I say. But I go to a lot of the muni courses here in town and stuff. That's my thing. I'm not as much anymore. I have a son. But eventually I will be getting back out there. It's the shit. There's some really nice courses in Austin, actually.
In Austin, there's one that I went to recently that I really enjoyed. It's called Crystal Falls.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it because it's narrow fairways, water where you're like, oh, that's not in my way at all.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're trying to dig your ball out of out of it. So, and then with the wind, it was really tough. I went on a windy day. It was like 30 mile per hour winds.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
It was not fun. But Crystal Falls, I think it's about 20 minutes northwest of Austin.
Okay. So you like, she's like real competitive. She's like, I like the narrow courses. There's like sand traps everywhere. I'm like, no, I want it wide open.
Real competitive though, but I'm not real competitive.
Okay.
I don't care. You can shoot 100. You can shoot 130. I don't really care. I just love being out there.
Yes, same here. Awesome. It is like literally. I liken it to like therapy, man. It's 4 hours of therapy. I like going by myself, and that's why I like going in the summertime when it's super hot because there's not as many people out. Because not as many people can withstand the heat as well. But if you go out when it's like 100 degrees, there's not many people out on the course, as many as there are like right now when it's 70 every day, and you can be alone and you get to just chill, man, and just relax. Be by yourself and not I don't like going out there talking to some dude who's like sells insurance. Like, dog, I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, hey, Paul, I'm not going to buy any insurance. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good on insurance. You know what I mean? I like to be alone. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And since my best friends are in Vegas, what we would always do. So one of my guy friends, he hated, of course, you're playing in the Vegas sun, and he hates as soon as it's like 9 o'clock, he's like, nah, it's too hot. I gotta go. so we would always be the very first tee time, like at 5:30, 6 a.m. But you're drinking at 5:30, 6 a.m.
Yeah.
So by the time you get out at like 9 a.m., you're already like, well,
you're like 3 a.m. drunk.
Continue.
Yeah. Like 3 a.m. drunk. Like, I don't know where we're going to end up today, but I don't want to know.
How about the Frisbee golf, you two? Have you guys gotten into that?
I haven't gotten into that, man.
I've actually never even tried that either. And I know that it was getting big there in Vegas when I left, but I've never actually tried it.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's when you said therapy, Chad, that's what I think of when I think of Frisbee golf.
Yeah,
it's just chill. Everybody that's on the course with you is just laid back. Nobody's getting frustrated. It's just a fun day. Relaxing.
Yeah, man. It's awesome, man. Spark up a little J, just to like have some fun. Just can't nobody tell you what to do, man.
Freedom.
Play on through, man. I'm gonna be smoking weed for a while.
But if you do find your way back into Vegas, I would really go play at Wolf Creek. That's
okay.
I definitely would say that that's my favorite course in Vegas.
Nice.
Every course you're going to see like the mountains, but I mean, this course is like made in the mountains.
Oh, damn. I got to see that.
So for scenery, you're saying scenic wise, it's the best?
Wolf Creek.
I would say also just for, no, not just for scenic. It's
nice.
It's a tough course, plays in the wind and with the scenery.
Nice.
Great conditions. It's hardly ever busy. I mean, it's just like there's so much.
Dude, that's like heaven to me, man. As I have like this fantasy of just like going to different cities and playing golf, like at 5 different courses, 5 days in a row. There was a time several years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, where I was playing 5 to 6 rounds at least a week. You know what I'm saying? Some days I was playing 36 holes in a day. I was just like a junkie, dude. Like literally a junkie, Not like shooting up heroin and shit, but you know what I'm saying? Like I was
that was actually me in Vegas.
Yeah, really? Isn't it so fun?
It was because, I was in the poker world. So the poker world hours are very different than that of, regular life. And so I had all this time free during the day because you're actually working at night. So yeah, I mean, when I knew that I was going to move to Austin, I made a to-do list of every single course listed in and around Vegas. and I made it a point to play every single one.
That's awesome.
And my like topping on the cake was going to be Shadow Creek. And I had the reservations and everything. In order to play Shadow Creek, it's like a $500 golf course. It's a plus like whatever, how much you're going to tip the caddy.
Mhm.
But in order to play there, you have to play at one of the MGM properties. You have to stay at one of the MGM properties. They'll come, they'll pick you up, and then they'll take you to the course. And I had all of that set and booked already. But it was during the time where Houston had had the flooding.
Okay. Yeah.
From one of the storms. And I think it was like
A couple years ago.
the barrier broke. And so I felt really terrible. Like, oh, my friends and family are underwater. And here I am going to go spend $500 on the golf course.
With a caddy and stuff like, Chester, bring me my 9-iron.
I know. So, I mean, I
bring me my
bad.
putter.
But I have played every single course in Vegas minus Shadow Creek. And
That's
for that
so
reason.
awesome.
So, but it's, so when you talk about like, I could sit here all golf, sit here all day talking about golf.
We'll have to bring you back on.
Yeah, we definitely want to. We definitely want to.
I'm
I'm a huge golfing fan and love to play as well.
That'd be a good time.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for your time today, Pam.
Yeah, Pam,
Before we let you go,
interesting.
this has been awesome to get to know you. Before we let you go, can you kind of recap a little bit OddsShark? Like, why would someone want to go to OddsShark and check it out? I mean, Chad and I enjoy it, but just we want to hear it from you. Why someone would want to check out the website and some of the writing you do over there.
Well, we have a really good group of guys who know a lot more than probably I do. I would say that I'm like specialized in football, but we have guys who do MLB and soccer and golf and we do it all. So we have every single sport on the website, and we're breaking down some of the best bets that you should be picking up, futures, or like some of the daily offerings now that MLB just started. And so we have a lot of good guys who are very familiar with other sports. Me, like I said, I'm kind of more into football, so you won't find much of my football stuff until closer to the season. But we have a lot of that stuff, and then of course it offers some of the sites that you can get some betting options up on. So
yeah, that's what I like about OddsShark is you can compare the lines and you can shop around. So when we're talking about future prices, you can see this one book is offering. You don't
have to have 8 tabs open, cross-checking and all that stuff. It's
nice.
all. I'm looking at the website now. It's all right here, right in front of you. You get to look at where you're going to get the best deal. Shop around a little bit too.
Yeah, always shop for the best number, as they say.
Yeah, you definitely have to, because there's such a difference between different websites and everything.
No doubt.
So we want to tell people to go to oddshark.com, and that is ODDSSHARK.com.
Yeah, get that double S in there.
Yeah, double S. Got to get on there. But go on there and play some bets. Got MLB just starting today. All kinds of good stuff going on. Final Four next weekend. That's going to be huge. You want to get on that. And also, if you're crazy as hell and you want to get on some NFL future bet before the draft and everything, go right ahead.
All right, let me real quick. Let me defend my love for NFL futures. Okay, here's one reason why I love it. Kind of like Pamela alluded to with the whole idea of Russell Wilson could go to Chicago. Right, the lines are up. They're on the website. So if news breaks, and you have an opportunity,
why not?
to get a line before they have a chance to move it. And I did this last year with the Bucs. As soon as Tom Brady was signed with the Bucs, I went on. I believe it was 25-1 that I got. Yeah. And man, I was happy as hell with that. Yeah, I
remember when before LeBron came back to Cleveland the second time when he came back. I had been hearing from some of the people. I'm from Ohio, and so I had some people that were plugged in that were telling me, hey, LeBron might be coming back and everything like that. I kind of had like a little insider information from a couple of reliable sources. And I thought at that time I wasn't really a bettor, and I was like, man, if I'd have known this, like at least just to pick them to go to the Eastern Conference Finals, because at that point we were a 19-win team.
Good point.
The year prior. So I think, who knows what the hell the line was.
That's the perfect situation.
That is a perfect situation. But if you want to place a bet, you're almost like kind of betting that a certain team is going to pick up a big free agent, especially next year. You might be seeing some big time quarterbacks move around.
Yep.
Even now, who knows what's going to happen with Deshaun Watson if a team happens to pick him up right around the draft time. Keep your ear to the grindstone. Nose of the grindstone. Keep your ear out to see if you hear about him going anywhere. You might want to pick up a bet. Who knows? Maybe he could still go to Chicago.
Who knows? I mean, and you can speculate too, right? So you can say, even before the signing, you can say, oh, this team has the most amount of salary cap space. So I'm assuming they're going to be spending money on some lucrative free agents, and so,
or maybe
Say that again.
The 49ers, like we still don't. Yeah. Maybe the 49ers, we still don't know if they're going to keep Garoppolo. If they trade him, they can. Preserve like 23 million of the 28 that they have owe him. So that's still an opportunity. Absolutely. So if they pick up a big quarterback, that's definitely somebody that I would want to consider for futures.
Absolutely.
One thing I will say before we go is let's keep Deshaun Watson out of New England. Him and Robert Kraft together, that would be.
Oh God! Oh man!
No, it would be. Oh shit! It would be. It'd be ugly. Mayhem.
Is that even in the news? Is the Robert Kraft thing even in the news anymore?
No,
that
man.
That just disappeared.
He got that. He paid that shit off. He's like, man, let's stop talking about it, guys. Bobby doesn't like when we're talking about this.
Oh my goodness gracious!
But yeah, this is super interesting. So make sure you you want to give out her social?
Twitter, Pam Elam 35 on Twitter.
I'm going to send her a follow.
I have never heard anyone say Pam Elam before.
Well, how would you describe it?
Pamela?
Wait. Oh, yeah. Wow.
Pam. You didn't know that's what it was?
Yeah, it just hit me now, man.
He's like, Pamela.
Pam Elam.
Wait, but there's no.
That's definitely an easy way to like pronounce it.
Wait, hold up. There's an A at the end?
My name is Pamela.
There's an A at the end in the Twitter handle?
Maldonado. Her last name is M.
My last name is Maldonado, so it's Pamela M.
Okay. I think I was missing the A in the Twitter handle.
Pam Elam. People are like, who the hell is he talking about?
My name's Anthony. Honey.
Honey. Yeah, my name.
C-Had.
Yeah, my name is C-Had. Tony, that was a great episode with Austin Ekeler from the LA Chargers. So much awesome information, getting to know him better as a player, as an athlete, as a person as well. And then we had Pam on, which was great as well. Had some expert analysis. She gave us some insider information on some of the upcoming bets that people can make.
Yeah, man, it was cool. It was a great premiere episode for us.
Yeah, it really was. And just a reminder, OddsShark is your source for the latest odds from leading authorities, expert editorial content, and detailed matchup picks. Looking for statistics and trends for an upcoming game? OddsShark has that too, and it is absolutely free.
That's right. In-depth analysis, stats, numbers, and trends to help you make the Shark Game Day picks. So whether you want to check out tonight's odds, this weekend's trends, or anything in between, head on over to OddsShark and start thinking like a shark today.
That's ODDSSHARK.com. Thanks to everyone for listening, for watching. Please tell your friends about the show. Please review the show. Our next episode, we have Benjamin Albright, who is a beat writer for the Denver Broncos.
I can't wait, man. It's going to be a great show. He's got one of the most accurate mock drafts out there. It's going to be a fun guy to pick his brain.
Exactly. We're going to talk to him about who's rising up the draft boards, who's maybe fallen down the draft boards, some sleeper picks and everything like that. It's going to be an awesome show. Can't wait, for sure. Thanks for listening to the DNP-CD Sports Podcast. I'm Chad Fisher for Tony Farmer. We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for listening. You can find more episodes and all other Hot Pie Media originals baked fresh daily at our home on the web at hotpiemedia.com, the Hot Pie Media YouTube channel, or wherever you listen to podcasts.